everybody, and welcome back to Ball Knowledge. I'm Avery, your host, and I'm so excited to talk to you about the 6 rules that the NFL has permanently implemented that will be official starting at the moment of kickoff on Thursday night when we see week 1 of the NFL regular season kick off. So these rules, a lot of them we've seen, touches, sprinkles of being implemented, ratcheted up, however you want to call it, in years prior. But there are 6 new rules that are officially coming into place that you need to know about as a fan, as a viewer, as a strategist. And here's what they are. The first rule is the kickoff change. So kickoffs now resemble scrimmage plays with coverage and return teams lined up closer together. The touchback now happens at the 35-yard line, not the 30-yard line. And the NFL has some big things to say about this, you guys. So they're conjecturing that concussion rates will drop extremely low in 2025 once this has been fully implemented for a season. So let me tell you what their logic is there. Last year, concussions dropped by 43% the first year that they experimented with this new rule. So they are positing to say that we will see an even lower drop in concussion rates. That's great. All is fair in love and war. I'm happy to see my players stay safe. I know you're happy to see your favorite players stay safe too. So, okay, I'll take that. That's not a big deal to me. And the opportunity for injury reduction is important here. So if we're going to be picky and choosy, this isn't one to fight on. The second new rule is the onside kick adjustment. This one to me has the largest and most tangible impact on the way that the game strategy changes. So now, you guys, a team can attempt an onside kick at any point, any of the 4 quarters of the game. Prior, last year, in the years in history past, you could only attempt an onside kick in the 4th quarter. A lot of us, I consider myself a diehard football fan, I didn't know that. And the reason that this rule came into play, you guys, is because in the Super Bowl last year, in the Chiefs playoff run last year, they were attempting, or they considered attempting, an onside kick in the 3rd quarter when they were trailing Philly by 28 points. And a lot of us fans at that time were like, oh, you can't do that. Right. And the NFL saw that and they said, you know what? Now you can. So now you can attempt an onside kick at any time throughout the game. There is a potential for this to change the overall strategy of how special teams coordinators, defensive players play their game. And I think what we can expect in this first year of this really becoming a law, if you will be that we're going to see some teams try to get a little tricky. I wouldn't be shocked if we see, a 2nd quarter onside kick or some sort of like tricky special teams plays. So don't be surprised if that happens. And I do think we're going to see a few coaches who are a little bit caught off guard by this, and maybe in the flurry of the game do forget that that's a rule, and they're caught a little bit off guard when a team does that. So that's kind of a fun one. The third one is the overtime rules update. This to me makes absolutely nothing but sense. Now both teams are guaranteed a possession, even if the first team scores a touchdown. I know I don't have to explain this to you guys. You know that prior, if your team won the coin toss, and they went down and scored a field goal, a touchdown, that was it. The defensive, or the team who started second, never even saw a snap. So this is fair to me. I think the overtime rules always felt super arbitrary and kind of made up. And they are, of course, but this is kind of a little bit more of a fair and square push and pull way to do this overtime thing. And a statistic that really stood out to me was that 75% of overtime wins were won by the team that got the coin toss. So essentially, if your team and your team captain out there in the 50-yard line with the refs got that coin toss, you had a 75% chance of winning the game. I think if all of us were betting, if that was the odds, we'd put our money right around that 65% mark. But now we know for sure 75% of coin toss winners won overtime. We're not going to have to deal with that anymore. So that's an exciting one. Moving on to rule number 4, the replay assist expansion. Replays can now overturn objective penalties with clear evidence. Amazing. If we're concerned that robots and AI are taking over the world, I'm super glad that we're putting them to good use. And I am not even being facetious, you guys. If AI can run a company, then they should damn well be telling us where the first down is. Like, seriously, I can't believe this hasn't been an advancement that we've made in years recent, considering how technologically advanced we are in America. So the penalties that obviously they're going to be looking out for with clear evidence, your typical face mask, horse collar, roughing the kicker. Okay, sure. But now we can be extra sure about it. Rule number 5, another thing that we can be extra sure about is that first down measurement. So this one to me, you guys, is chains are replaced by Hawkeye optical tracking system. So they're going to have 6 different 8K cameras pointing at different angles to figure out exactly where that first down marker is. Once again, technology. So glad we're here. I'm so glad I live in this world right now where where technology can tell me where my first down is. Okay, so I always joke with my family and my friends when I'm watching games, like when you're watching the ref kind of like drag the chain out, and it feels like the ball could have moved just an inch, or like the wind could have blown it. We don't have to worry about that anymore, you guys. We have technology, so this is great. The NFL claims that it's going to reduce measurement time by about 40 seconds. So, sure, okay, less commercial time. I don't really know what that has to do with anything, but it's something. The last and final rule is sportsmanship enforcement. So let me tell you what it is, and then let me tell you what I think about it. So sportsmanship enforcement entails new bans on violent or sexually suggestive gestures. That includes a throat slash, gun gestures, the nose wipe, which Associated Press claims is linked to gang symbolism, and encouraging players to have an emphasis on maintaining professional conduct on the field. I'm going to tell you guys what I honestly think about this. It's incredibly dangerous to lump two different actions with two different intentions all under the same umbrella of unsportsmanlike conduct. Let me explain to you what that means. To me, one vein of unsportsmanlike conduct is swearing, cursing, roughing a referee, harassing, being aggressive, being violent outside of the perimeters of the game. That's not cool. Nobody likes to see that. I'm a huge Niners fan. When I saw Debo try to choke Tabor Peppers last year, I was like, yeah, you can't be doing that. That's a penalty. That is unsportsmanlike. So there's that one bucket. But then you have that second vein of sportsmanlike conduct. Dancing, gestures, singing, memeing, any sort of tie to culture, pop culture, music, expression. That's completely different than being violent and aggressive to your teammates, to your opposite teammates, to the referees, to other coaches. Those two things are so different. And to try to make a blanket fix for those things by saying that dancing and culture and gesture, policing gestures is such a slippery slope, you guys. I mean, it's like literally the whole movie Dirty Dancing is about this. Are you kidding me? And then the first thing I thought of when I heard this was like in the 60s when the Beatles and Elvis were big, there was this fear-mongering mindset that it was so sexually explicit and raunchy and it was satanic and all of these crazy fear-mongering tactics that the generations above hold their beliefs about just music and joy and fun and culture and innovation. That is the exact same mindset that we are now seeing being applied to these NFL players, and that bugs the heck out of me. I'm on my soapbox about this and I can't get off of it. And the last thing I want to say about this, you guys, is that these players are showmen. They are every single day of their life busting their behind. They are doing press conferences, interviews, meet and greets, being in front of audiences, working every single day in some capacity to be a star, because that's what we expect of them. We demand them to be showmen, and we love it when they are. But now we're telling them, no, don't, that's too much. That dance isn't appropriate. That policing is so dangerous, and I hate to see it. I'm disappointed. So, you've heard enough from me about that. But what do you think? Maybe you have a different nuanced take that I really want to hear, because overall I'm feeling like this is a lot of attention on the wrong thing. So take with that what you will. Regardless, you guys, these 6 rules are going into effect on Thursday. As soon as kickoff happens, they are permanent. So I want you to keep these 6 rules in mind as you are watching your games this week. I will be watching alongside with you. Keep them in mind because we're sure to see some evolution of these rules play out on the field, and I can't wait to talk about it with you guys. So in the meantime, stay healthy, stay safe, and I can't wait to watch these games, talk about them with you next weekend. So, all right, bye, you guys.